Hello guys, my name is Sub-Zero Exabyte and I am having a fantastic day. And I hope you guys are having a fantastic day as well, and if not yet hope you are going to have a fantastic day. But I think I know a certain way how I can make your day fantastic, and that is what we are going to do right now. Because we are going to make a base today. We all know famous bases around the world like the base in Tokyo. Well, I actually don't know if there is a base in Tokyo, but what I do know is that the White House has a secret base for the president. I am not a president, but I am sub, and the hill behind me we are going to make a base in, so let's start the project. Oh, there is a random pool of water here. Maybe we could do something with this pool. As you people know, I am the master of pranks, but I also can build really beautiful things like pyramids and mountain bases. Yes, those are some random buildings, I know, but sometimes you just need to build random things. That is what this game is about. So for this small water pool I will build a well on top of it. Isn't that a great idea? I think it is, because a well always comes handy. Maybe there are people in the area that need some fresh water or just need water to make food. Then this well is perfect. We should make it like a real well where everyone in the area can see that they can find water here. Or I have a better idea. I should make a plane with a banner behind it where it says, "Follow this plane for free water," and then let it land nearby. But how are we going to do that? Because this area isn't flat enough for a plane to land on it. Let me think for a second. Well, there is something else what we can do. Oh no, forget that. I have an idea. How about we do the same thing like we do with a plane with a banner, but instead of a plane we use drones. Yes, a lot of drones with banners behind them that says "Follow this drone for fresh water." Then the drones escort the people to the well. Yes, that is something really interesting. Drones are really coming up nowadays. Everything we do we use drones with. Like for example, they use a lot of drones with recording movies or clip shoots. Those are the small examples. Even the army uses them. But that's all fine because they know what they are doing, right? Well, I hope so. So what about this well then? Something is missing. Maybe we should make it a bigger. How are we going to make it bigger? Scrape that plane. Let's make it deeper. You know how this works, right? The deeper the well is, the fresher the water will be. You didn't know that, right? Well, that is because I am a well specialist. People all over the world hire me to make their big deep wells, so that is what I do in my spare time. I make wells for people. Sometimes I just make them for fun, but that said, this never happened to me. I am going down. Really far down. It doesn't stop. How is that possible? I have no idea. Where does this go to? And I don't think this is really smart to go in solo. Where am I? I never saw this before. It looks like there is a whole underground city down here. Wow, how is this possible? How did they dig this out and so correctly? No, I know how they did this. Yes, they did this by using a lot of explosions. Base building materials, people, is a solution to everything. If you just don't know how you're going to do it, just place some explosions, get a distance and fire in the hole. It looks really nice. How people get on ideas like this. I will never forget this. Maybe I will begin on underground city for myself. You remember the city that I made? Well, yay, how about I make another underground city underneath the actual city? People that don't like sunlight will just go live underneath the city. I should also show this to Chip, because if Chip sees this he will fall in love with this place. I bet he will. He is always the underground type. He also like mountains, like those small dwarves from Lord of the Rings. They also lived in mountains and underground. Oh, hold up, dwarves are small. Chip is also small. Coincidence? I think not, people. We should put up an investigation about if smaller people like to live underground, like Chip and the dwarves. Oh wait, something came up in my head, but I don't know if I can tell you this. It is like secret of me and Chip. If he sees this video he will be so mad at me, but I want to share it with you pranksters, so people listening up. I once asked Chip if he knew what dwarves were and he responded really angry like everyone knows what dwarves are, but Chip didn't like it. So after the first question I asked Chip if he was a dwarf, he was so mad I just took off. He said I am going home, and that caused for a small fight between me and him. Luckily everything is over now, but I don't know how can you get so mad of one question, right? Maybe he go bullied with us or something. We will never know, I guess. But let's get back to the houses. As you can see, someone has put a lot of effort into it. You can see all of the details here. Like you can see how everything is done, but maybe everything needs a bit more of Steve details. You remember Steve is one of the best builders in the world. But I don't know, should we expand this city or make a new one? I think it is better to make a new one. But we will need a lot of base building materials for that. Let me explain how to make some base building materials. I was going to explain to you how you get base building materials. Oh okay, Alright then, let's do it. So here it goes. Take an arrow in Minecraft. Then you right click. Yes, that is right, base edit. Really nice. Like on a level from not so nice to really nice. This is almost at the really, really nice. So you thought that I would make all of these bubble things of base building materials with my bare hands? Well then, I would be busy for like an entire week or something, which would not be really good for all of you since this video is only like, let me see, yes, 15 minutes long. You probably don't want to see me placing base building materials in a bubble shape for an entire week, right? Oh lord, that would just be a disaster, to be honest. But we have got a lot of new base building materials in here and it is just looking really cool. This is like that place that they have in America, yes, with all of those mountains which are really rocky and really high, but then like not in a mountain shape, but more in a reverse shape like this. So, it is basically a mountain but then not in height but in depth. Yes, I think that is a very good explanation of what I am trying to say. So here we go again with a really big explosion, and it is so big again that the server is lagging. Now I am not really sure if I am deep frying my computer once again, since that would not be that nice. There was no roof on that particular house, so the spider was climbing on top of the outer wall and got stuck in some spider webs that were not actually made by a spider, but they were just laid down by a human that was called Steve. And the spider named Jeff did not like human Steve, so he wanted to terrorize his nemesis human. Oh lord, look what I found, a underwater base. This will be our base of operations where we will monitor all the traps that are placed in the house and around. He decided he could do the best by going in between the walls, and because there was no roof he did just do that. He lived in between the walls for a couple of days, but he struggled to get food because you know he lived in a wall, so there is not much food. But lucky for him, the way he got in was the way he could get out, and because he could get out like that he can get food on the outside. So he catched some cows and stuff and he got a lot of food like that, so that was nice for Jeff, and Jeff was very happy about that because food is happiness. And Jeff was getting a bit chubby, but Jeff did not care because all he did was sat there in between those two walls and eat. The only exercise that Jeff got was getting the exercise from hunting, and he hunted not only cows, but in the first stage of his experience of living between the walls he only did eat cow because a lot of cows lived nearby. But he did not want to eat beef anymore. His stomach craved for some other food, because if you only eat one thing for the rest of your life it would get really boring. But on the other hand, you would know how to cook it very well, so that is nice. Hey, there is something I need to tell you guys. The house is pretty big and I am not sure that I will be able to defend all the corners. I am kinda getting nervous, but he hunted some sheeps because why have abs when you can have kebabs? But the kebab did not fill his stomach enough because it was just some sheep. But Jeff was not happy because Jeff did not like the kebabs and it made him sad. There was also no McDonald's because it was Minecraft, and his roommate Steve did not cook very well. Steve did not have a clue that a spider was living there, because who in the right mind would suspect that? But the spider found out that if he hunted at night he could eat some zombies and other mobs, and he thought that was pretty rad because he liked to kill bad guys. He was really happy because he made the world a better place, and not many people like to make the world a better place, and those people are only busy with bettering their own life because that is what is important to them. But now those people still don't have anything, and Jeff did, so Jeff was happy because he at least tried to better the world. But Jeff did not yet fulfill his duty to fill his belly, and because of that he was still sad. But Steve was also sad, so they were both sad because they both did not have a good love life, because they did not have a love, neither of them, so they were sad like I already said 100 times. Alright people, it is time to set up some secret code doors. Every locked up house needs code doors. But Jeff was still in the walls, and Jeff did not love his life, so he decided to love someone else. But Steve was hungry as well, and Steve did not have an oven. The poor suds. So one day Jeff decided to confront Steve because they were both hungry, but Steve had meat and Jeff did not have meat. But Jeff knew how to cook, and he even had a little open in his spiderweb fort. But yeah, Steve had meat and Jeff an oven, so Jeff convinced Steve to let him cook the meat. Well, Steve was pretty impressed because I don't think anyone has ever seen a spider cook. But it was actually a really delicious meal, and I say that pretty funny. Delicious, haha, I knew that I would say it like that. Man, now I am getting hungry, and I am hungry just like Steve. Maybe I have a spider in a wall, I do not know, but it would be really cool, and I would call that spider Jeff as well, and he would be my personal cook because spiders cook delicious meals as Jeff did. Oh yes, now comes my favorite part where we set up the lasers. Lasers are very dangerous and can trigger alarms. Usually thieves are scared of lasers so they won't pass here, but yeah, Steve had some pig meat in his possession and Jeff made a nice meal and Jeff cooked it good and Steve was finally happy and Jeff was having a good time as well, even though they were human and spider. They had some tea as well and they were having such a good time that they danced with each other. But I did not yet tell you how Jeff cooked with his special method, did I? No, because I was not yet done with my story and I already started talking about something else because I get distracted pretty quickly. But anyways, fudge that entire story. What do you all think about this masterpiece with all of this lava? And the thing is that I am not done placing lava for a long time, beams that I can look up to, and that is something that is a bit more important than having an attic, because that keeps the house from caving in. So that is just fantastic if we do that and not the other way around, because I would like an attic, don't get me wrong, but I would also really like to have some support beams that keep my house from caving in when I am inside, and I don't want to be caught by surprise by my own house. But the floor is done and I have all of these support beams on the inside in place, but still I don't really like some stuff about my house and I'm just going to need to adapt to some things, and then I think I will be good and then the house will look even better, because this support beam that was over here didn't really look great. And I don't think we really hurt the house with destroying that one because we have got plenty left and I think that it looks really great like this. But we can start with the ceiling, I guess. Well, it is not really going to be a ceiling, it is more going to be a start of the roof, so we can start making that, but I guess that this will look really great from the outside and I guess that it will also look good from the inside, but we are just going to see for ourselves. But we have got the roof almost done and I think that this looks great the way we have done this, and now the question is how we are going to do the roof itself, but I guess that we just need to figure that out by ourselves because no one else is going to make a roof. But we are going to make it from stone and I think that the grate will match pretty well with the rest of the house, and I hope that it will look fantastic. But we are just going to make the roof, and then when we are done with the roof we will see for ourselves if the roof looks fantastic or not. So let's go ahead and make this roof and I hope that it will look fantastic. But first we needed this little door spot so we can get in when the ceiling is not open anymore, because otherwise we would have to destroy block every time and that wouldn't really be that nice. So a door is just a way better alternative. But now we have the base shape of our roof and I think that it looks pretty good. We are just going to have it stick out a little bit like they did in the medieval times, and I think that those houses just look fantastic. But we are just going to see if this stone roof that we are so busy with looks great or doesn't look great on our house in a minute. We are just going to finish it anyway. If we really don't like the result of the roof, then I guess that we can always just place a bunch of stairs on top of the roof and then you would barely see the stone. It wouldn't really be a pickle if that happened, so I think that I am good with it and that I am just going to finish this amazing stone roof and that I am going to be happy with it however it turns out. But we have got it almost at the point that it is finished, so I think that when it is finished it will look fantastic. We just need to finish that one little shape that is not inside of our main roof, but we will have a little alternative roof on top of that one. So right now let's just finish this roof and from there we can take steps a little further and do some real advanced techniques that you guys probably have never seen before because they are so advanced. So I am going to show you those techniques and it is just going to be fun and stuff, but we need to finish this first. Hold up, I want a little small roof for this extra bit. That would look pretty good I think. So, let's just do that and then see how that looks. We could also just make a flat roof, but that looks really bad, so I think that a small replica of the roof what we just built would look a whole lot better, so let's just make that and then I think that it looks alright and it kind of actually looks better than alright. We just connect it and then we got one hell of a roof on here. Look at this, man. It looks absolutely fantastic like this and I really like it how it is right now. The inside of the house is still coming, so don't even worry about that. It's time from the inside will come, and that is where our second advanced technique will come in. But first let's close this in so the rain doesn't come inside of the house. See, it looks really good right now, and now we can go ahead and do other crams stuff that would make the house look more detailed and just overall better. And I hope that I find myself some amazing looking crams, and then I think that this house is totally amazing. We also need some support beams in the roof, but that time will come because I am still not totally sure if I do want an attic or not, because I am probably not even going to use it, but it would still be nice because of all the storage area. But we could turn it into an attic later, and if that doesn't really work out then we could always just dig a basement. Sure, it Wouldn't be as cool as an attic, but I mean it is something, and I really like basement, so I am not sure what I should do right now. But yay people, that was the video for today. Keep in mind that bases you make are really special, they are yours, so try to make as much as you can. So I will need to say goodbye for now, but we'll be back in the next video.